Live momentarily. Perfect. All right. Welcome everyone. Hello. To a middle of the week Monster Monday, not Monday session. The party wanted to level up Goji, and now Goji is unavailable.
Goji and Dako.
Yeah.
But the hunt will go on anyway.
And our two players, Grumpy and Chastin, insisted on running sessions still today without Caleb. So we're going to see how things go. They may gain some new friends. They may gain some new enemies. Truly, that is the question.
Yeah.
Yo, wait. Are you actually free or what? Because now Caleb's messaging me like fucking no other. Motherfucker better
be
get
at
his
work
ass
and-
in here.
Wait, is he just say he might come?
No, he's just been messaging me for the last few minutes without almost immediate responses.
Well, I mean, he's probably at work and just.
If he's at work, he shouldn't be responding.
That's
Also-
true.
Also, his workday ends at like 4.
Yes. But anyways, so yeah, we originally were planning to have them available. However, both Daka and Goji are busy, so we are left with Sieko and Tikdrik. I see. And unfortunately, Goji is currently paying a tax, and unfortunately won't be available for the rest of the night. Otherwise, he may not be available for future D&D sessions. Because as we have confirmed, a certain object is missing, and in the hands of another. But we'll move on from the subject for the day. So the party, having decided to take some downtime in between sessions, Goji, Sieko, and Tikdrik had requested for Rylos to track down some local monsters for them to hunt or look into. And upon returning, after continuing his quest for Bastion that I don't recall off the top of my head what it was, he did return temporarily with 3 separate options that he had found on some of the local bounty boards. Upon arriving, he points out the first, a large bear said to be on the huge side, rumored to be capable of casting magic, and their gnomish companion that just has the simple nickname of Faye the Black Fairy. Both in the image that was given show the gnome carrying alongside this massive bear that's just almost dwarfs the smaller mountains, with a small house on top of it, and even trees growing somewhat on it. To note on the bear, as you both look at the leather strappings across it, you do notice a large time pendant on its chest, as well as the glasses on it, giving it the sense of some sort of intelligence, maybe with something using something of that sort of an item. The second one being a larger creature, or a large creature with orangutan-like features, but wearing full what looks to be depicted as jade armor and a stone sword. The title given to them is Horv, the Orange Troll. And Rylos mentions that this person in particular is known to be extremely violent towards merchant caravans. And the last is supposedly a slightly biologically changed or evolved creature called the Giant Flab. Some speculations from some of the adventures are that it's just a giant that got really fat. But either way, the name Flab seems to be what the general title for this giant was. When having been approached by their adventurers, those few that made it back, they mentioned that the creature was somewhat intelligent, but extremely durable, and that it took out a group of 7 adventurers almost in a single swing. As Rylos kind of hands you those, he goes to sit down for a moment, but as Bastion comes back in, hurriedly gets up and heads out, knowing full well that after the scolding he got from Bastion last time, that he is not welcomed without completing
Results.
his duties. Yeah. But yeah. So as you lot are handed these three, Bastion and Daka and Goji mentioned they've got other things to attend to for the time being, and thus leave you two to your own devices. So what would you like to do?
Does he tell us where each one is? I would assume so. Like a
Yeah.
rough-
On the back, as you flip over the wanted posters for each of the creatures, is a marked location that you recognize seems to identify similar with the local maps that you've seen of the area.
Okay. Do these have rewards? I assume. Like.
Yes. So the bear and the gnome are listed at 5 million gold pieces if brought back alive. If brought back dead, it says 2 billion platinum pieces. The Horv, the orange troll, is wanted for about 5 million gold pieces, dead or alive. And the flab, as it's roughly called on the wanted sheet, it just has wanted dead and has 2,000 GP listed under it.
What are we thinking?
Grumpy, we can if you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I guess we can try the orangutan.
Okay. So as you two
Orangutan.
flip over the map, you start looking about and you see the general map seems to depict the forest actually nearby you. What you don't seem to really kind of grasp looking at it is when you look through the map, the topography is slightly different. It shows that there is some sort of underground, a large underground building or something of the sorts is where the orange troll supposedly stays. But the town that it's pointing to is supposedly was once a vampire haven that was completely eradicated.
Okay.
Like-
I guess we'll head to that town.
And Bastion would mention that he can confirm that the vampires were eradicated as he's been to the town.
Got it.
All right. Is the town like dead completely? Like,
He
no one
mentioned
left?
that when he arrived there and was there last, that most of the there were no living creatures, just vampires throughout the entire thing. He calls the city Raktra, and points to it on the map. You get the rough sense that he's not telling you something fully, but it also doesn't seem to be important to your current situation.
Okay. Seiko, maybe if there's a vampire left, you can gain you some new followers.
It'd be nice to have new vampires again.
Yeah.
I miss them already.
Did you have a favorite?
Yeah, one of the underling vampires. I was going to train him to be a paladin, so it was going to be a weird dead holy man. But how far of a travel will the town be?
So when Bastion points it out and he kind of starts to explain that it's, you would be traveling through Fluffy Osca's territory from his experience, that they came across a very large migrating horde, and he does reuse the word horde and not herd, as he describes these creatures wiping out entire forests, as they would walk along, but that they are very easy to tell because they leave a dust pile going behind them for miles.
Good to know.
But yeah, he says that as he points off to the distance, he goes, it's about roughly a day's walk, maybe half a day if you go a little bit quicker.
I would say consider that because the item, our lowest walking speed to us is now 55 feet.
Mm-hmm.
We're very quick.
This is based on his own experiences.
Yeah, he's not super duper fast, so it should be a little shorter.
No,
I mean, that works.
He mentions that the last time that they visited Raktra, that he traveled in on the back of a Fluffy Oscus with his compatriots, so he's not 100% sure of the exact time.
Fair enough.
All right. Let's get a moving.
All right. As you two start to head up, the two orcs standing guard kind of come to attention and kind of nod as they one seems to rub a ring on his finger, and you see the cap to the what is slowly becoming recognized as roughly a lake or a very far inland lake is opened up. Some water kind of drains down from the rain from the last couple of days, and you both climb up.
Is that ring he has a mundane?
Yeah, it's a common item. When you look at it, immediately you recognize it's just a Molder. It's just a Molder cantrip that continuously casts.
Cool. All right.
As you realize, neither of these orcs are capable of casting.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. So as you both climb up, you've already had, or when you lot left, you didn't realize it, but both orcs had managed to carve into the side of the lake a stone staircase that's just very subtle looking. Only those who know what they're looking for or who are coming from underground and basically follow the natural climb up would notice it. But yeah, so as soon as the mold earth opens up and you both start climbing up, you see the slight stairs that make it a little easier to climb. As you
Is the area clear?
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
Is the area clear?
As you come up, give me perception checks.
14.
14, okay. And Sieko?
8. We have a +1.
All right. As you both look about, for a moment, Sieko, you look around, you don't sense anything with your tremor sense at first, and then as soon as you start, something picks up, Sieko, or Tictric kind of points over to Rylos, who is clearly walking away, irritated, heading towards what looks to be the eastern shores, heading out on another mission. Otherwise, as you guys look about, you do notice the tree with the dent underneath it on the ground. That's very clearly shows a very large body having fallen onto the dirt. But
this was the body of what? Something the orcs were fighting, apparently?
no, this was the body of the orc after he got almost knocked out by a coconut.
Damn.
You know.
Yep.
You know, is he dead over there, or is he just sleeping?
No, he's down underground guarding your entrance now.
Yeah, because we talked to him last time.
Yep.
I thought you said there was a body there. You just
No. There's
there.
a whole. There's a dent-sized.
I see.
Yeah.
I thought there was just a body where I was like, hey, what?
No, body imprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the saber, you can see where the saber tooth was also cut down up there, as it was brought in for you guys last session. But yeah, as you start looking about, you don't see anything for miles. You can definitely see both spot the road that's about half a mile away from you that's commonly traveled by merchants, and no one seems to be on it. It's roughly about mid-morning. From your travels at this point, Tictric, you'd know that roughly, or this early, most merchants aren't leaving unless there's a large sale, or they've already tapped up on inventory, which isn't common for this area, as most of the cities trade with each other, not distance-based. So, look, and you know this from Maznod, so looking about, it seems to be a pretty good time to head out without being noticed.
Pretty clear. Let's get a move on.
Okay. Give me a D100 roll, one of you.
Sure thing.
Roll a good number.
That is a 37.
Okay. Fuck. Ouch. Goddamn fucking Caltron.
Good?
Yeah, I
D4.
set my metal dice out, and I
Count
was
the
like,
D4.
I tipped my bag over, and the metal fucking D4 just stabbed my fucking finger. Ow, fuck.
Speaking of dice, for the first time ever, a dice set on D&D for me is now in dice jail for its terrible roll for cameras.
Really?
Oh, shit.
I rolled 5 saves in a row that rolled below 10.
Okay.
You mean like Grumpy's magnanimous 3 8s?
I think it was 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the proclaimed gay dice are now in dice jail.
I recommend the Yule dice. They've been really good to me. I'm just keeping my metal dice on the side in case D&D Beyond goes down because I was having lag issues earlier. All right. Well, so yeah, as you both start heading out, you do about halfway along the journey. The forest kind of clears out and becomes almost completely just roughly grass plains where you can see tall grass growing throughout the areas. Most of these territories at this point you all have seen are majority hills, Most of the areas around the towns, the dwarves have cleared out. So, and alongside the roads, a lot of the forest has been pushed back. So, really, the only issue for you when traveling is when you leave Blazing Hold and you're stuck around all those hills, not being able to see clearly. But as you both start heading south, with Sieko, I assume carrying Tick Trick, or are you both running at the same time?
What? We can run.
Okay.
I would say up to Tick Trick because I'm exhaustion immune, so I could totally carry you and just triple sprint.
This sounds amazing.
I will say, you do
Sieko
notice
ride.
that Sieko, while the rest of his armor looks to be like properly battle hardened or stuck into his scales now at this point, this cloak, as he puts it on, it makes him almost kind of have a slightly noble air about him, giving that old, very classic dragonborn but almost slightly rich looking adventurer as he's walking
Billowing
around.
in the wind.
Yeah, it does it billows, and the smell is very pleasant of a light lavender scent that just continues to refresh itself as you are running. And it just kind of keeps you relaxed, Sieko, for once, as you're able to continue running. So Tick Trick, are you just going to ride on to Sieko? Because I will say you will need to take a half-day rest otherwise to run straight there, just from the exhaustiveness of running a full day.
I want a Sieko ride.
Okay. So as you
All
kind
right.
now, Sieko, are you gonna like carry him bridal style, fireman style? What are you thinking?
I want to do like the father to son piggyback where you get your arms under their legs.
Okay. So as Tick Trick
And then-
kind of locks his hands around your chest and shoulders and trying to hold on as you're kind of starting to get a run, and you grab his
What
legs.
an image.
He's light, and as you kind of pick him up,
Yeah.
you just start running, and at a comfortable jog, which for Tick Trick this is a jog. For any commoner sees you lot fucking zooming.
I mean, if you want speed, I can sprint at 165.
Yeah, but no, as you're going like extreme speeds here, Sieko, you go almost suddenly you find yourself in a trance, kind of blinking your mind out, as you just kind of, let your body go into autopilot.
Can I steer him?
No, as you start to kind of try and move, you notice his body almost locks in from the above his waist, almost completely sturdy. And as you try to say his name a few times, like even smacking him upside the head, nothing seems to get his attention.
What about his message in his head? Does he hear that?
As you message, he doesn't seem to respond.
I'm fine with it. We're going the right direction.
But yeah, no, as you finally, about a few hours go by, and, normally you'd guesstimate this would normally take you to probably around maybe half a day, like, Bastion said. You get there in about 2.5 hours, arriving at the city of Rakta Keep, seeing it now completely demolished, just nothing but ruins, buildings all destroyed. And just as you appear, you see it over or in the distance. Suddenly, Sieko kind of comes back into his mentality and just continues the jog and seems to respond like normal once again as you two get closer.
Man, this cloak's pretty good, huh? You don't seem tired at all.
It is extremely comfortable.
Sieko, as you get up to Rakta Keep, you also notice for the first time, you don't feel hot. Normally, while running, this would warm your body up to a slight. You'd feel the panting, and you don't. Your body seems to almost regulate itself perfectly now. But as you come to this ruined city, both of you can just see the walls that used to once stand proud, 4 stories made of thick marble, are nothing but imprints into the ground of a city that was about a half a mile in distance throughout at the largest sizes. Going with what you can immediately see is a large, long main road, houses all along the side, buildings of business that were once there that look to have been once stacked up, in some cases 3-4 stories themselves. Most of these buildings being nothing but a slight imprint or having fallen over onto the road, but the roads themselves, cobbled as they are, seem to almost be in perfect condition. As you lot kind of start walking down it, it's actually quite well preserved. You see not a single soul in the area, though.
No bodies either.
New. Go ahead and let's give me some perception and investigation checks, one of each from both of you.
Okay. 17 perception.
It's a 16.
Okay.
and a 27 investigation.
Okay.
Well, I got a 2 investigation, so I'm glad you got it.
Seko, really good at transporting and hitting things. Not the one who finds what he's got to hit.
He left his blindfold on again. Okay.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
actually very good at insight.
Yeah. But as you start looking around, both of you look about, and you recognize for a moment the inn you've heard Bastion mumble about on occasion. You see in the distance, towards the opposite end of the city, a slightly destroyed-looking building that looks to be still somewhat standing compared to the rest that mostly are just imprints, maybe like 1 or 2 stone blocks still there. You see, definitely this was like a 2-story building at one point. And as you look about it, you can see the dent in the ground as you both walk up from in the front where the glass, you can see shattered glass all about. And you start to remember a slight tale about something about Bastion mentioning a rough night in his experience. He's never told you all everything, but you've gotten pieces here and there.
Yeah.
And you also start to remember, as you both start really going into the inn and looking about, and with the investigation that you get, Tiktrick, you find the opening to a cellar that you can tell goes much further down into the ground.
Sieko, can you feel the ground here? There's a cellar.
I'll kind of tap my foot.
You don't have to roll as it pings off a ton of crystals that are enhancing your tremor sense, and you get this. A massive crystal cavern, that underground that seems to have a lot of natural waterways. You can tell it's very man-made, as much of the areas are dug out, and that this goes straight down into there. Tiktrick, give me a history check real quick. Because Maznod would have known about this, so let's see if you remember mentioning
16.
it. So, you're kind of hazy on the details, roughly, but you remember Maznod mentioning at one point that Raktra was a city supposedly rumored to have been infested with vampires, but what was unique was they were vampire slavers, who specifically would go and steal people from other settlements around the area and use the underground tunnels and natural waterways underneath the dwarven countries to get out to the open ocean. But you're not sure if this is that or if this is just one of many that could be throughout this area.
Hey, Tiktrick, if the best happens, how do you feel about a secondary base for just us?
I don't oppose. See how it goes. It might not be empty. Apparently the vampires here, or there are, I've heard of vampire slavers. This might be one of them. So these might not be entirely empty.
Is this on the map where the Orangatrol
Yes.
was roughly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's probably down here.
That too.
All right. I guess I am willing to lead.
Okay. As you start to climb down the ladder, Sieko,
I'll go ahead and stealth.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth for me.
27.
Fucking goddamn it. Yeah, all right, yeah. You vanish into darkness. So there were no shadows in this inn, as it was pretty well lit with the sun above you. But suddenly, Tiktrick just seems to create darkness around him and vanish.
Well, yeah, that's Tiktrick. Yeah, no, that's about right.
But yeah, Sieko, as you start to climb down as you go first, this is a wood ladder. You know what's about to happen. You're fully prepared for it. And as you take your first step, it holds.
Ooh.
You take your second step, putting your entire weight down on it. Now really expecting this thing to shatter, because there's no way it could hold your entire weight, and yet your second foot lands.
Is the ladder magical?
It doesn't feel like it is, as you don't sense any arcana from it. I mean, you can give me an arcana check to see if you can notice anything specific.
Some good fucking wood.
That'd be insanely good wood. That's a 27 for arcana.
It is not magical at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, you don't sense any magic. But you don't know what kind of wood material it is. As you look it up and down, it's made of a very thin white coloring on the outside that seems to still be the bark itself. Even the rings where you're putting your feet onto are also made of the same material. Very thin though. I mean, even you can lock one finger around it without having to do anything, and yet it's holding all together. And it seems that each of the rings are have been like basically molded into two separate long sticks or small trees for all you know for how long this thing goes down.
Gotta try and figure out what this is that's somehow holding Sieko.
Yeah. So as you two start crawling down it, yeah, Tictor, give me a nature check.
I'm saying it now. If we don't claim this base, Siego's keeping this ladder.
Well, that's a 3, so...
You aren't familiar enough with above ground botany to know what this tree is. However, even without, you know that trees don't grow in this shape, and this looks like it's done no damage to the trees.
These are weird trees.
But as you two start crawling down 10 feet, 20, 30, 50, finally at 85 feet down, you finally find the ground, and it is pitch black. Normally, as I know both of you can see. To the untrained eye, it would be pitch black. And as you come to the bottom, Sieko, your tremor sense goes off, and you sense two creatures in the entirety of this area. One that seems to be further in. It's too light to get an exact footprint area, but you're guessing that. So to give you guys an idea where you came in, it's on the top map.
Top?
On the top portion, you see where that little bridge is that goes on to the stronghold.
Like the top left one?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Yep.
So you are entering and you see this bridge as you feel it. And then the second figure you sense, Sieko, is down on the ground below the bridge. This one you get a pretty clear sense is probably about as heavy as you are and not very large.
I'm going to cast message to Tictric and say there are two people here, not one.
Ho ho ho. Where are they?
One is right over there as I point towards the bridge.
As you both look, you don't see it on the bridge, but you can see the dark pit beneath the bridge.
Okay. I will have see invisibility up, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'll motion Tictric forward if he wants to take a look, because I'll point
to the edge of it to look over.
Yeah.
I will go and look over.
As you do, give me a perception check.
Perception. 25.
As you look down, you just see this. So, firstly, immediately you notice the bright light, almost sparklingness of the armor of this creature seems to be full plate material, shining almost in the darkness around it, made of almost solid platinum from what you can guesstimate looking at it. Given your smithing background, it's pretty easy to identify it's either platinum or silver. Everything on them looks to be made of this bright platinum with different runes and markings on it. Each of the runes reading something along the lines of a curse to prevent the armor from being taken off. The specifics are a little hard for you to make out, but that's the rough estimate you get, and you're not sure. You don't know what language it is. You just happen to be able to understand it.
Okay.
And then the being itself looks to be a dragonborn who stands about 7'2", almost like Venta black scales all throughout the body, and two really bright purple eyes, almost like the amethyst color that Sieko is, as they are looking straight at you, Tictric, as you look down.
Oh, sick. Do I see... Sieko mentioned there was a person on the bridge. I don't see that person.
No, he said that it was below the bridge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I said there are two in the entire mine, and one was right over there.
I see.
As you look around for the other, you don't see any other figures or anything that catches your eye outright.
Okay. I'll message Sieko. I've been spotted.
You also hear in your head, Tictric, yes, you have.
I'll message back. I'm assuming since you're not fighting, it's not the target.
No, it's not. He also speaks to me.
I guess I'll walk up, because if he sees Tictric, he's gonna see my fat ass.
Yeah, as you come walking in, you both see as suddenly, You immediately see, Echo, as you come up, see the platinum armor just sparkling. It's hard to miss. As two large wings come flying out of the back of the armor, both each with a 6-foot wingspan, flying up almost with one swoop and landing on the bridge as it shakes and causes the entirety of the cavern to slightly shake a little bit, causing your tremor sense Echo to go off. As the wings retract into the armor once again and disappear. And the Dragonborn kind of looks at you both and goes, "Can I help you?"
It depends. Have you seen
Have you seen this? And hold on the issue.
Oranga troll thing?
I saw a druid who's got ginger hair in here.
I look at the picture. Does that description match?
Well, more. Does the hair look ginger?
Yeah, the orangutan's hair is definitely gingerish.
Okay,
I mean,
druid.
it could be.
Oh, that could be our target.
What are you here for?
That's not important.
Okay.
If you're here to kill Horv, he's further in. And he kind of starts walking over towards you. Now, you both notice he has no weapons on him as you look about his gear. He doesn't have a bag of holding. It just seems to be a solid thing of plate on his body with those strange markings.
Now that he's closer, can I make out anyone?
And Tiktrick, both of you give me a nature check with advantage.
Nature. You said it with advantage?
Correct.
Nature.
19.
17.
You both get predator feeling off this guy. He seems like someone who could eat you.
That's pretty mean.
As he kind of starts walking towards you, not hostile in any way, but yeah.
Now that he's closer, can I make out a little bit more what the armor is about, or no?
Looking it up and down, the curse reads, "If this is ever removed, the world will end."
All right, sick.
Oh my god.
And the Dragonborn just keeps walking over to you and goes, "Are either of you from the Underdark?"
Am I technically from the Underdark?
No. Well, yes and no. You would be considered yes.
Oh, I've never been. So
I think maybe. I don't know. It kind of blurs together sometimes.
Huh. Well, I guess you can't help me then. And he starts walking between the two of you. And
Okay.
as he kind of suddenly gets to the ladder, you hear his first foot kind of lift off the ground, causing the entire cavern to slightly shake. And he turns back and goes, "Oh, by the way, if I can see you, he can too."
That's cool.
And he started climbing the ladder and disappears.
Well, at least now I know the bridge's gonna hold my ass. If he was the same I do and it didn't break, I could walk it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, Sieko, his armor was pretty bad. It said it's like if you removed it, the world would end. So.
Well, I hope he doesn't remove it then.
We hope so.
Do
you know where the other guy is? Could you sense it, or?
DM said I felt him, so I probably know roughly where he is.
Yes, you saw him on the right, one of the towards the right or the most western portion of the top map.
Okay, I'll start walking that way.
All right. Tiktrick, are you going to follow as well?
Yes.
All right. As you two start crossing the bridge doesn't even shake as Sieko steps onto it. It doesn't.
Is it made of the same stuff?
It is made of a a similar white wood, but you do notice in the center of it two little slight wooden pillars that rise a little higher than the bars on the side of the bridge. They're also made of a thinner stick material, same tree of course. But on these two risen areas, you see two amethyst crystals, slightly glowing, just like the ones all through the walls that you notice. You don't sense anything arcane coming from them, but they do continue to glow, giving it a dim light. But as the darkness continues, alright, as you cross the bridge, who's going to lead, and are you going to scout, or are you just going, or what do you want to do?
Well, is there a point to scouting if he already knows we're here?
Is the creature moving, Sieko? Or is it just standing still, or what is it?
It hasn't moved, Sieko, from what you can tell.
He's not moving. I think he's waiting for us.
Should we like act like people, or just go run and start stabbing them?
Oh, we'll walk in. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Either we get money or we get a new friend, new subordinate ally, however we want to put it.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so as you continue walking up the path, just calmly, not really hiding your presence at that point, Sieko. Tick-Tick, are you gonna stealth again, or are you going to just follow in line?
I'll just follow.
Okay. So as the two of you come to the little central courtyard, as you go around the wide ring, you see a strange pyramid-like object kind of sitting in the center with weird carvings throughout it, depicting something of like orangutans and gorillas and having human slaves. It's really, really bad art design as you look it up and down. But as you kind of start to skirt across it, you see the opening of a doorway where you can see the glowing of a fire kind of pitching the sounds of the wood snapping, and the slight tinging of porcelain as you both walk into the doorway and see Horv, a hobgoblin druid wearing really nothing but a cloak made of what looks to be like a mix of leaves and moss, holding a little staff in one hand, a tail that's spouted out holding a cup of tea, a book on the table that he's reading from. You do notice he does have a slightly shaped like sickle on his hip, and a cauldron that he is kind of spitting into different ingredients that he keeps popping corks off of too every few seconds. And he kind of just looks up and goes, wasn't expecting people like you to come and kill me, but this is a pleasant surprise. Usually it's humans who want me dead.
Yeah, you don't really look like your picture, I'll be honest. Is this you?
Oh, and he transforms and the appearance shows up. The stone armor suddenly seems to grow and turn to a jade-like color. The sickle seems to extend into a long stone sword, and the long nose as well as orangutan-like features come through. And he starts speaking again in common and goes, that's me.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You suddenly see a snot just fall out of the nose onto the ground, and he goes, that's why I don't use this form anymore. He transforms back into a hobgoblin.
Well, you're more willing to talk than I thought you would be.
Well, you're not human.
Yes.
Or dwarf. Yeah, I had a dwarf come in here. He tried to tell me what to do, tried to order me around, tried to buy soup from me. Not my thing.
Did you get his name?
No, but his head's over there as he points to a shelf, and you see a completely shaved, clean dwarf's skull just sitting there, slowly kind of rotting as the skin's, at this point, too unrecognizable to know who it is.
Poor guy. Unlucky guy.
To be fair, my traps would have done the same to you lot, probably, if you had arrived here hostilely. Hostilely? He looks up at the word, or looks up at the ceiling for a minute. And
the ceiling said gullible before.
With hostility.
That's it. That's it. He goes, wait, ceilings can speak?
One said gullible once, so.
It did.
Impressive.
No, that is true.
Sounds like an illusion spell, but alright. What can I do you gentlemen for?
The goal was actually mold earth for me to mess with my friends, but that's besides the point. Well, I mean, we were gonna come to kill you for the reward, but I mean, good allies.
Very reasonable.
Yeah, you are reasonable, and good allies are hard to come by.
Did you meet my friend?
That Dragonborn?
Dragonborn with the weird armor?
Oh, is he looking like a Dragonborn these days? Huh.
Yeah, that's what we saw him as, at least.
He has pretty cursed armor, not gonna lie.
Oh, that armor, he just wrote that on there as he was designing it. It really doesn't do much.
Cool.
But he kind of just left without doing much.
He didn't even give us his name. It's kind of rude.
Oh, no, his name's Belf. He's a good buddy of mine. I've known him since I was young. He looks at both of you and goes, what?
No, that was out of character. We don't know Bill.
Yeah, no, we don't in character. Sadly.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Dragonborn I met, he washed up on the shore one day. He was talking about some guy named Captain Ricard, and I don't know, something about sinking ship, and I just, raised him, or I brought him in my house, fed him. Guy's done well by me.
That's nice.
Yeah, sweet dude. Anyways, as long as you're not here for tea or demanding things, I mean, you're welcome to have a seat and we can talk about this ally thing. Not really looking for friends, but I won't deny them either.
Let's say first, what's your goal over here? I get you don't like humans or dwarves, but
Well, I'm studying the plant life and trying to figure out why there's a giant tree in the city up north of here that's eating the life of the plants. I mean, that's really kind of my main thing.
We have a plant friend who's kind of struggling.
we do. We heard he's really powerful, but he's kind of healing right now.
The only powerful plant I know is a guy named George Bush.
That's
Yeah,
him.
that's him.
What?
Him.
You found
Yeah.
George. He got.
Yes.
You see him grab this stone suitcase and cracks it open. You see it's kind of dented, or it's indented in the center. He starts putting plants and cups into it. Slams it shut. You hear things clearly shatter. He kind of goes, "All right, where are we going?"
Okay, allies it is. I guess we can take him back to Bay.
He kind of slams the rock on his shoulder and he goes, I owe George a huge favor anyways, man, saved my life.
Yeah, George is an old friend of one of our party members.
Who's your party members?
Well, the one his name is Goji. He's not very intelligent. The other one is Daka. He's also not very intelligent.
Yeah, we kind of deal with them, but that's besides the point.
And then we have another guy who says he doesn't want us to reveal his name to people because it's bad.
Yeah, but do we care?
Hmm.
I don't think we care.
Sounds like kind of a shit friend if he doesn't want you telling people his name. That's more like a cover up.
No, he's kind of a dick. He keeps saying he'd willingly sacrifice us to gain his own goals.
I know a woman like that once. She would tell guys all the time, "Oh yeah, I love you and all this," and then they're like, "Oh hey, I want to start hanging out with you and go and see your family and all that," and then boom, suddenly she'd vanish, and it was a whole thing. Like I don't know. And he starts going on some weird tangent that's nothing to do with the topic at all as he continues.
Yeah, so his name's Bastion, because I really don't care about what he says about saying his name.
He turns and goes, don't know.
Yeah, no, he's kind of a dick.
My name is Ticktrick, and I hold out my hand to shake.
He holds out his hand, and he actually properly grasps your hand, Ticktrick, and shakes it and looks at you and goes, I've met a few Thrycrane in my travels.
Have you?
Yeah, I travel the undergrounds a lot. Underdark is quite interesting. Also, weird that you don't want your friend Bastion seems like such an easy name to learn by accident. I mean, there are castles that are bastions. Does he know this?
I don't think so. I didn't know that either until you just said that.
He goes, yeah, technically a castle also can be called a bastion. It's a cultural thing.
Oh.
Do you people,
Okay.
does he not read?
I don't know.
He reads sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, he reads magic books, though, not really.
He goes, I got one of them. And he pulls out this tome and he starts looking about. And he starts flipping through it for a second. And you see it's got what looks to be the depiction of a humanoid on the cover with a very large and predominant mustache and beard. The kind of mustache that you curl with beeswax at the end. And it just seems to be a fully leather-bound book as he kind of flips through it. Neither of you see anything on the pages. They all look blank. But he
You want to see invisible?
yeah.
Okay.
As he starts kind of reading a passage off of it, neither of you can... It's just almost as if he suddenly just goes mute as he's reading it. And as he suddenly stops, he turns to you. Go ahead.
I have a cool magic tome, too, but I can't find a key to it.
Why don't you make a key? He looks at you.
I don't know if that's possible. Also, I'm not that kind of caster if the key has to be magical.
Oh, I could try make the key.
Make the key out of sticks.
I'll say I'll pull out the evocation book.
He looks at it and goes, sorry, I'm not one of them pencil maker types. I'm the nature type. Your friend here said he can make a key as he points to Ticktrick.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. I'll check it out. Is it possible? I don't think so, but...
Yeah, because I don't think there was a keyhole on it, right? It was just... Yeah.
There, see, there's no keyhole. I can't make a key if there's no keyhole.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think the key is like actually key shaped. I think it's some other item.
Oh, okay.
And Druid
That's
looks
why I
at it
said
and goes, or the keyhole's hidden.
Yeah, one of the two.
You know, I knew
Where
a
do you
guy
have a keyhole
once
in
who
a
would
book?
who managed to cut the testicles off of a book, and that opened it.
You know, I think I
know,
read
we
some book
heard-
like that.
Yeah, we've heard about that guy.
Yeah, good guy. Weird obsessions though.
Hey, do you know what these bridges and stuff are made of? You said you're good with plants, right?
Yeah, I made these.
Oh, cool. Well,
You
what
know-
is it?
This is the first time I've had a bridge that didn't break under my weight. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, yeah, the tree's reverse weight. It's a property of theirs. I just crossbreeded a bunch of plants together. I don't even have a name for these things. They grow underground. They like the darkness, and they'll literally suck the nutrients out of anything.
So what do you mean by reverse weight?
Oh, so the way I found it is I found there are spells that can like reduce your weight. So I started studying that because I was curious what could happen. He starts saying this as he's climbing the ladder, with you two following behind him. As you look up, he is not wearing anything underneath, and
You know-
there's no kilt.
Neither is Sieko. This is
Mhm.
fine.
But he continues on. He goes, "Yeah, so basically, I saw this spell once as a wizard used it. He made himself larger, and then he made himself smaller, and then he ended up losing all of his weight. So I thought, what if I take one of those items and stick it inside of a tree? Turns out, certain trees can absorb the magic and manage to take on the properties for their offspring, which I didn't know about until recently, until I tried this, and then." I figured out a way to do it to where on a smaller scale I could take the sticks and meld them in there with a modified version of Mold Earth. I call it Mold Tree. From my understandingly, I'm the only one who can use Mold Tree.
That's fair. Now I have two other questions. What did you do to get such a high bounty?
Oh, well, I'm just a really high. It's probably from.
They said you were attacking merchant caravans and being
I
really
mean,
aggressive.
we've got some bounties ourselves, but not that high.
I mean, I think last I heard I was only worth 2,000 GP.
No, it's 5 billion.
Yeah, it's
It says it right here.
As he looks at you, and he goes, "No, see, it says 2,000 GP. The bear one says 5 million platinum or 5 billion. What did that bear do?
I was gonna ask you if you knew because it's in the area also.
I have no. Wait." And he kind of like looks in, squints, and you see suddenly as he takes the poster and kind of stops on the ladder, suddenly and kind of like holding with his tail, holding him up as he leans back and pulls out a pair of like really crappily designed glasses that look like they're hobbled together, and like
It works.
gets really close to the picture.
Yeah, it says 5 million.
And he goes, "That says, oh, I know her. That's Faye. She's a nice,
Yeah,
she's a sweet woman."
You know, I was tempted to try and go recruit them too, mostly because I'm very intrigued by the bear.
Oh, bear's not more than a giant brown bear.
I don't care. It's pretty cool.
That's fair.
It's got big glasses.
I don't know. I can tell you he's not a beast because my thingy went off. My primal awareness went off when he came around.
Oh, so what are the odds they don't try to kill us when we give them the recruitment pitch?
Faye's a sweetheart. But her bear's the kind one. If you convince the bear, as long as you don't attack it. By the way, don't attack it. That bear can wipe a city out if it gets angry enough. That thing is a
No.
problem. You need to kill it in that first hit, otherwise that thing gets mean.
I'm happy we came to talk yours. We almost went to hunt them first. That could have gone really badly.
Oh yeah, that bear. So let me tell you. So as he starts climbing the ladder again, I've met Faye once, and I happened to accidentally run into her during a battle when she was getting attacked by some bounty hunters that thought they could take her head easily. She's wanted because her bear ate a whole bakery's worth of food, and she didn't notice, and so she left, and now she's wanted for the bounty of the bakery.
So a whole bakery is worth 5 billion platinum?
It was the royal baker to the king.
Well,
Those goods were sourced from globally, all around, and preserved with some of the highest magic capable. But anyways, as I was saying, that bear, so someone went to attack it. There was like 6 of them. Really well-known names, big guys. I think they had one of Zilpip's kids with them even. And the bear ended up eating 3 of them, and it turned into this giant thing of black smoke with a strange silvery orb in the center of it. and just started mauling and tearing. I haven't seen that kind of brutality ever. And I heard there was a guy that was like turning people into like tubes of paste, like, and that doesn't even compare to the brutality I watched that night.
I look at Sieko.
Yeah, I think we tried to find out. I don't know where we would put the bear. Our basement is definitely not big enough for the bear to walk in.
Oh, that bear isn't that size all the time. It's only that size when it chooses to be. That's it. That's in its second form. That's what I would call its magma form.
All right, that's. You want us to go drop you off at base at George, or would you like to come with us, and then we can all go back together after we meet the bear?
Do you need my help?
I don't think so.
Where are y'all set up?
I'll pull out a map and show like the area that's like a day's travel away. But they're not going to let you in unless we're here. It's a hidden base.
He looks at it and goes, "Is that that's old Blazing Hole? That not hole in the ground? The one where the dragon went into? I know how to get in. Don't worry."
Yeah.
Wait, is there secret ways in? We'd like to know.
Don't
that
worry.
helps us.
I'll fix it.
Thank you. just tell them that Sieko and Tictric sent you. They shouldn't attack you.
I gotta ask, did you guys find the hole where, or did the dragon tell you anything about someone poking it in the tail and poking it in the ass a lot?
Oh, we tried to talk to the dragon. It started trying to kill our friends. We had to fight it.
Oh yeah, that's that might be my fault. I've been showing up in its hoard and stealing one gold coin every day for the last like 3 months. Yeah.
She yelled she hated men. I'm not even a man, and she hated me. I don't know what I did.
Well, I kind of stuck it. You know, and he kind of starts walking. Have a good luck. I'll find my way.
Sieko, what do you think he was going to say?
You see him turn into an orangutan and start running through the trees. Oh man.
Oh, and I don't want to know. How
yeah.
far away is the bear?
So as you look at the map, the bear is labeled as in the Pebbled Ruins.
Do you want to check out that whole map though first before we leave? Make sure there's nothing there that we just can't grab while we're there.
Oh, I was gonna circle this on the main map. We were gonna come back. I was gonna like mold earth over the entrance and come back later.
Okay, yeah. I guess we can hide it for now.
Yeah, just hide it with earth, make it look like it's part of the ground, and I'll circle on the map where it is, and I'll remember.
Yeah, as you both come up, coming back into the inn, Sieko, as you mold earth, kind of pushing the ladder a little bit down, just enough to where it won't break, but it won't be in the way now. And then you mold earth, closing up the hatch to make it look like whatever was underneath just caved in. Yeah, as you close the hatch back up, moving some furniture back on top of it between the two of you, looks like everything's fine. Do give me a intelligence saving throw. However, if you're not immune to charm, you do not have to.
Oh, is this for both of us or just him?
Huh?
Is this
that's
for both of us?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Intelligence saving throw.
12.
That's a 12. Okay, that's a fail.
21.
You succeed, Tictric.
Oh my god.
As you see for a second, Tictric, you get this weird cold breeze that hits you, which is strange for this time of year, being as warm it is, and it being midday and in about a balmy 80 degrees out at this point. So, it's not uncomfortable, but it definitely isn't cold. With clear skies, you see no signs of rain or clouds or anything of the sort, but suddenly you just feel a strange cold breeze around you, and Sieko just stops moving, going completely blank for a moment.
Shit.
Sieko, you for a second just suddenly see the city in its full size, fully back to normal. All the walls fully repaired in its most grandiose. Dwarves, elves, dragonborn walking around, slaves being, taken over to the markets, nobles and commoners alike enjoying and laughing as they stop by shops, and you watch as slowly this image starts to kind of become more decrepit. More of the dwarves look hungrier, more panic looks to be setting in around you. You can't seem to interact as you look about with any of the creatures, but as you kind of watch, it slowly starts to fall apart, and then finally you start to see as a panic breaks out as the city is on fire, fangs popping out of dwarves' mouths suddenly, and watch as basically the city turns and eats itself. And then your mind goes back to normal, and you come back to see Tictric just kind of standing there looking panicked at you.
Are you charmed? Are you gonna punch me?
Like 3 seconds past Sieko for Tictric's reference, but for you it feels like almost a whole day has passed.
Sieko?
Did you do something for me to punch you?
No, I'm just,
I feel
okay.
fine.
There was a cold breeze, and you just like stopped standing there. You
Yeah,
stopped moving for like.
I think I just saw the death of the town in real time, but that's fine.
Oh,
As
okay.
you both turn to look, I kind of turned to head out as well at that. Suddenly you see a blue lion just standing in front of the inn,
Oh,
glowing, almost clear, slightly clear with a blue tinge over it and little sparkling bits throughout. As it just kind of stares at you, almost as if it's a star, kind of like a star constellation looking down at you.
hi.
Your tremor sense does not notice anything there.
Yeah, but I can see it with
You
my
can
eyes,
clearly
right?
see it. Yes, yes.
So are you an illusion, or?
The creature kind of tilts its head to the side and looks at both of you and goes, "One cannot be an illusion if one doesn't exist."
Huh.
Uh,
Fair
Okay.
enough, I guess. Can we help you with something, or?
Are you the ones who freed me?
I don't know. We're the only people here.
Did you open the chest I was locked within?
Didn't open no chest. Pretty sure.
No, I don't think I opened the chest.
Kind of looks
Where
about.
where is this chest?
No, we're.
I'm not sure. And it starts to turn and starts walking down the roads.
Fair enough.
That's fucking weird.
No, it's not bothering us. That's fine.
Yeah. There was nothing weird about that with the seat invisibility, right?
No.
Alright.
And as
No,
you
it's
both
just-
look about, you even taken a good few minutes just to really make sure no one's around, like casting illusion or really screwing with either of you. There's no arcane energies coming throughout the town now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which way did it go?
As you look about, you both kind of head down one of the side roads trying to follow it, and it just seems to have dissipated into thin air after about an hour of walking around.
Like just randomly, not like in a direction.
It seemed to be searching the town, but not in something
Oh.
like a specific, like it was following a lead, more as if it was just kind of looking around or looking for something.
Well, if the chest was here, it had to be horror, right?
Maybe. We'll ask about that later.
Yeah, we can ask later. How far away is the bear on the map for the rough area? For the bear and fae?
So about a little less than a day's travel. It's closer than Blazing Hold, just north of Raktra, or being north of Raktra, but it's more to the west slightly. Good news is if you head up there, it's almost as if you're basically heading back home. It'll only take you almost an hour or two from the Blazing Hold to get back to your, or from the Pebble Ruins to get back to Blazing Hold.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
So as you two, yet again, climbing onto his back, Tictric,
Piggyback.
Sieko goes into this like almost non-responsive kind of mentality and just starts running at top speeds. As you start sprinting at top, like going as fast as you can, you within half a day, or within another half a day, manage to get to the Pebbled Ruins. With only a few hours to go, as you get there, you see a strange figure that kind of causes you both to stop for a moment. As you see a human with dark skin wearing a large cloak, carrying a massive greatsword on their back, and just surrounded by men in like metal armor, being covered in full plate, as they stand at the entrance to the Pebble Ruins. You both are about a half a mile from the city, as you can see this group. Most of the lands around here being almost completely flat, but from this distance, you'd both surmise the average humanoid wouldn't be able to really make out much, and would probably just see Sieko as a purple armored adventurer.
Do you think these look very like, mundane, like soldiers and stuff?
From this distance, neither of you can get a real good sense of them, but you're pretty sure at least the leader is carrying magic items.
You want to sneak up? They might be here for the bear. If that is, they might, make a big mistake, and also make it hard for us to reason with them.
I'll make a show of walking towards them because I'm not gonna be able to stealth. If you want to sneak up and check things out while they're trying to focus on me, go ahead.
Copy. I will jump down and stealth and sneak up.
All right, give me a stealth at disadvantage.
Okay, as a straight roll.
Yup.
Ah, that's a 23.
God fucking damn it,
He
man.
has a plus. He has a plus 16.
I know,
I'm not
right?
gonna roll very low.
But yeah, no. As you start to dissipate, start walking over there, Ticktrick, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception's a 19.
Oh yeah, so you make it about less than a quarter of the distance, and you recognize this guy. It's the same guy you saved back when you saved that Hawken fellow. It's the shirtless guy.
Oh,
And he looks in bad shape. As you from this distance can see, he is cut up, scarred. There are
I hate to say, DM, I don't think Pebble wasn't there
no,
when I
Pebble was
saw
not-
them.
Was,
I don't know
true.
him.
Was he?
Tara was with him.
That's
No.
right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Pebble joined later.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, if I see a Centauri, then you know.
Yeah.
Like 2-3 sessions later, Pebble showed up because
Okay.
Tara.
My
Yeah.
bad. So yeah, you see this figure that is just a darker skinned, really roughed up looking figure. Their hair looks to be pretty much half shaved off on one side of the head. The other side seems to be really long and looks like it's been kind of cut with a sword, roughly. The body, you can see almost clearly they're very well muscled. But as you look about, you do see catch the eye of a small slime riding the shoulder of one of the knights.
Is it Centauri?
You're not sure. It just looks to be a blue slime sitting on the
It's the
shoulder.
correct color, Ticktrick. It might be.
I'm a message him, Centauri.
As you cast message, you suddenly hear, "Friend."
Centauri, it's me.
As you mentioned the Sieko you're watching, you see the some sort of blue dot in the distance kind of jump up in the air and then just horrid screaming as it falls back down and starts to melt the knight it was sitting on the shoulder
Oh
of,
God!
and starts going after each of them in turn as you two are walking up slowly.
Oh my god.
You watch as the final figure, this shirtless man, kind of pulls out his greatsword and starts slashing at, and then just disappears
Hey.
into a gate for a second that appears underneath him, and he falls through as Centauri jumps to grab him and flies over him. As the pebble falls through through a dimensional gate, Centauri just is left standing there, staring at you lot.
Centauri.
The little slime starts to rush over to you both. Asieko, as you get to get a sense, this slime is huge. Not heavy, just you get the sense that it's much bigger than it's portraying itself as, and a lot scarier. But still not an apex predator. Definitely something you've got to get a good feeling that you could definitely take on if needed.
Sieko, I know this slime. He's
I'll
an
just
old friend.
I'll just move Ticktrick forward then.
Yeah, the
Centauri.
Centauri comes and just immediately jumps in the air and lands onto Ticktrick.
Okay, that's probably gonna hurt.
And nothing happens, Ticktrick. As
Okay.
as he lands onto your face and then kind of falls down to the ground, just letting himself drop. There's a slight little bit of slime ooze on your face that kind of just is a little bit wet and sticky as you kind of pull it away, but it doesn't burn as you look at your hands as you kind of wipe it off.
Does he look the same as I remember him, or is he different anyway?
As you look down, he looks to be just as blue as he was. He does have two little eyes now that seem to kind of float. As you get a closer look, you both realize they're two little black pebbles that he moves around inside of his body that are both, they don't seem to melt.
Sounds like
Centauri, where have you been? It's been. I try to recall when was the last time I saw this slime?
It's been
It was like a month
It's
ago.
been a few months, yeah, since the last time you saw them. The last time you saw them was at the inn in the
Oh yeah, in the Heli.
in the Heli lands before you all left for your own adventures. And he just kind of looks around, very confused, and then messages you back, or messages you in your head saying, "Father."
He's missing apparently.
The slime just turns and starts to leave.
You don't want to try and find him with us?
You hear in your head for last Ticktrick going, "I'll find him alone."
That's all right. Okay.
Goodbye, small friend.
Who were those people you were with?
The slime creates a weird, like, gelatinous appendage and kind of waves back and forth at Sieko as it just walks off, ignoring you, Tick-Trick.
Okay. Oh well.
I guess.
I knew that slime. Apparently, he's probably gonna look for Duramar. I don't know how successful he's gonna be.
Isn't that the guy that exploded right before I met you guys?
Yep.
As you both start to walk forward, Tick-Trick, for just as the last second, you see a crystal on the ground where Centauri was standing.
Crystal. What is it? Is it magical?
As you pick it up, you realize it's a communication crystal, similar to the ones that they use for the world news and for to contact certain merchant shops.
Oh, hey. You can call Centauri whatever you want.
Cool. I'll put that in my inventory, I guess.
Okay.
You may name it something specific?
You can just put it in other possessions and call it it's basically a sending stone, but yeah.
Okay.
You can label it however you like to remember that it specifically connects to Centauri.
Okay.
But yeah, as you both look about, this ruined city in front of you, though, is in much better condition as you both realize it's shaped oddly. Some buildings are still standing. A lot of shadowy areas are still around. As you feel about Sieko, your tremor set senses a full dungeon underneath this city that is deep. You can't tell how deep it goes.
Okay.
Feel any bears?
I'll say, do I feel any living creature, anything moving?
You feel the slight, the very lightest of touch that catches your attention inside the city is nothing else is moving. And you're not sure, as it's similar to what you've experienced with, like, squirrels, cats, some small humans. Yeah.
Well, we're looking for a thing on all fours that apparently can move and a very small person. So that could be one of the two. So let's go check.
Yeah. I guess, you want me to, should we try and be stealthy, or we just try to present ourselves? I don't know how this recruiting thing works very well.
Like last time we were trying, I'll present myself and you can follow behind if you want.
Alright.
Let's
I
see,
will
no-
stealth again.
Okay.
Does-
Huh? Oh, yeah. Go ahead and roll.
Is it still a disadvantage, or...
No, go ahead and roll it with your normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 34.
Alright. As you lot start to head into the ruins of the city, it's built similarly to a dwarven underground stronghold. As you start to realize with how the road works go. As you enter into the main gated entrance, where it looks to be, they used to have stalls. It looks like this was the area that merchants would line up, as well as other people visiting the city that would line up to kind of enter, and many people would set up market stalls outside, allowing people to just buy goods before heading into the city, or to buy overpriced goods if they didn't want to go in and they wanted to wait. But as you lot kind of continue past, following up the large stairs, you see the trade quarter in front of you, a couple of side paths that seem to go off into the town itself. And as you walk into the trade quarters, you just see a about 3 foot tall, on all fours, little brown bear, kind of walking around and jumping and doing weird tricks with a big red ball, kind of balancing on it, making it bounce in the air, and you hear the giggling of some sort of young and effeminate creature.
Does it have a house on its back?
The little bear does. It also has a saddle and a little watch on its around its throat, as it immediately turns and notices both of you.
Check.
Miss Faye, is that you I hear?
Yeah. Who? How?
I'm Sieko. I just want to
Hello.
talk.
As you come around the corner, you see this tiny even for gnome standards, at 1 foot tall.
Oh God.
Long
This
little
is-
like tail that seems to kind of twitch on the ground, back and forth. 2 really big ears. She looks to be just small, covered in really magical scale mail that you can immediately recognize as at least mithril quality armor. Has a amulet on her neck that seems to have a sunrise on it, a long bow, 2 short swords on either side, and carrying a couple rings, as well as a staff in her hand. As she is also dark brown hair, bright gray eyes, and her skin is seems to be just a deep tannish all over. She is wearing what looks to be just a coverage of leaves and underneath the scale mail and some sort of like cloth but it's not spun from what you recognize what normal humans wear or what dwarves would wear.
Hello, my name is Ticktrick.
She turns.
I just hold up my hand to shake. Well, I crouched down. Make it easier.
She kind of looks at you up and down and looks at Siaka and goes, "How do you know my name?"
We met this orangutan guy who knew you apparently.
Orangutan. She looks to the
He's
bear.
Druid. He's a druid. He could turn into one.
The bear just seems to nod and she goes, "Ah, yes, Horv. Yes."
Yes, Horv.
Yeah, he told us the really amusing bakery story, and we were curious.
Oh, don't remind me. I started a war with a whole country over that. Oh, God, 2 armies ended up getting wiped out because of that. Because, Bartholomew over here decided he wasn't going to stand for them coming back for the sweets.
That's fair.
Mm.
Good food should be.
I spent 2 days cooking up the sweets to replace it, but the baker wouldn't take the free work, but no.
That seems pretty messed up.
Right? She looks at me, so now I just stay away from those damn dwarves. They're not kind people.
That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah, the druid didn't like the dwarves either.
Well, the hill dwarves ain't bad, but I don't know. Mountain dwarf culture is just rough.
Well, anyway, we're on a kind of recruitment pitch to make friends.
We live in the area.
Yeah, we live nearby.
You're the ones who took over the Mithril mine.
Yes.
You're not really that good at hiding yourselves. The orcs, the 2 orcs you have guarding it are really stupid.
We know.
One of them got attacked by one of my pets.
Oh, we're sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, I watched it. I know what happened.
Yeah. No, look, we got here recently. The recruitment pool's not huge. We're trying.
I am looking for something if you're interested.
Yes, of course.
I'd be willing to join your little group if you can find it for me. There was this one gnomish fellow. He had an elven apprentice. And she kind of extends her hands to the showing how tall that he was really tall. You get the realization pretty much everyone's really tall to her as she kind of keeps the same measurements when describing them. And she goes, his apprentice stole a pet slime of mine. I raised him up, he was a hatchling. I found him, he was one of the last of his species. And
is this slime blue by any chance?
Yeah, well, I mean...
He was just outside. He just left.
Wait.
Yeah.
Friend is nearby?
He was. I mean, I think he just picked a call crystal.
Oh, yeah. I know him.
Huh.
We're friends.
Apparently they're old friends, yeah.
You suddenly feel, both of you feel magic in the air as you mentioned that, Ticktrick. You suddenly see a glowing light appear around all of you. And she looks at you, doing an insight check. Okay. Because my dice roller isn't wanting to work. And she looks at Ticktrick and says, "You're telling me the truth. That's rare."
Yeah.
We're not very good at lying. We don't really
I-
try that.
I mean, we're here on good terms and trying to be nice. I think lying does the opposite of that, is what I tend to believe.
You know, I've not actually met anybody that's yet been truthful with me. I'm actually kind of refreshing. It's been a rather rough time of it, as you can imagine. You said you're recruiting. What are
Yeah.
you recruiting
Yes.
for?
For the most part, we just want to make a place in
Safer
the world
place.
where we won't be bothered,
Yeah.
and that requires some people that are decently strong.
Interesting.
And also, apparently, that can help us hide better, since you seem to know where we were.
In all fairness, all the local monsters have figured out you lot are here.
Yeah, we got one
Well-
more to go to after this.
Well, yeah, we have to go see a giant flab. Whatever's up with that one.
He's not sentient.
Oh,
Forewarning.
we might just kill
Well,
that one.
We might just, if it's not sentient, we might just have to. Well, that's for later.
I don't know if you'll be able to find him because of the fact that you both give off a scent that's pretty easy to pick up for all monsters.
Do you think you
Well,
could block it for the short time?
I don't have that kind of magic. I'm not that.
Well,
kind of
if we're
druid.
being honest, I mean, we are sentient monsters.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, we all
Yeah.
are.
When you're part Tarask, a lot of people kind of notice you.
She looks at you and goes, "Hey, fair enough. I'm part mouse folk. Yes, my my father fucked a mouse.
No, I wasn't gonna ask, but fair enough.
Yeah, don't go to the Sea Elf lands. They've got some weird brothels, is what I've learned.
You
so
know
yes,
what? With my weight, water really doesn't mix well.
I'm she kind of starts giggling at that.
I also don't like water.
You know, that's fair. Insectoids don't typically. I've met I met a Thrycrane crane once. Not the chatty bunch.
No.
She didn't really
They're
want to be
not.
my friend either. Turns out they really get angry when you try to make friends with them.
Yeah, from what I heard from Tick the queens are not nice.
No. I'll allow me to introduce you. And she kind of snaps her fingers, and you suddenly see the little pocket bear kind of grows up to about 6 feet in size on all fours. And she kind of climbs on top of him. And she has a little ladder that kind of falls over, and she starts climbing it. As she climbs up, she goes, "By the way, if you've got that wanted poster, it's not a really good depiction. They keep showing him as larger than mountains. I don't know
Yeah.
why. He's not that big." And you see
Maybe it's
the
the
bear kind
scale.
of roars.
You know, for the way it's taken, it might appear big. 'Cause,
Yeah, they did get a picture of you in front of him.
Oh, that might be. Yeah, that's fair.
I'll show the picture of the really small her standing in front of the really big bear.
I was reduced in size because we were having a rough food week. Wow.
I wouldn't know. This is just what the bounty poster
That's
showed.
not okay. I'm gonna have to take a talk with whoever designed this. Yes.
I mean, yeah.
This is
You
Bartholomew.
got a big bounty.
Allow me to introduce him. His name's. Well, I call him, or a lot of people call him Barth, because, well, I mean, to be fair, that's his actual name. I just feel Bartholomew sounds better.
Hello,
He's,
Barth.
he's from the land of Abaddon.
I've been there.
Oh,
Yeah, we have once.
not a pleasant place in my experience. They don't have
We
an
didn't have
issue
it too
though
bad.
if you eat their sweets. That's good news.
When we teleported there, we saw literally no one, and then we left.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of empty land. You know, it's from what I've been able to discover in my travels through it, it's kind of mimics all of our own land. So if there's a city in the area, then there'll be a city theoretically in Abaddon, most likely in ruins or controlled by a demon lord. But yeah,
That's good information. Thank you.
That's good.
I've done some traveling through there a few times. I managed to get through a few of the cities, but you know, demons always tend to sniff me out after a while. I've got this, and she pulls out this weird bottle, this like perfume bottle looking with like orc teeth sticking out over it, almost kind of like as if it's a mouth kind of biting onto the glass, and a little spritzer at the top. And she goes, "Call it beast perfume. It makes you smell like whatever beast essence you got in it. I got fiend in this because, well, fiends are always a problem in my experience."
Well, speaking of fiends, just so you know, and he's not nice, there is a fiend at base, although he is a member of the party. I don't recommend talking to him. He will try to get someone in a deal.
He can't make a deal with me. I got a pact with Bartholomew.
No, I'm just saying he's kind of a dick, so if you go to talk to him, just know what you're getting into.
Wow. Doesn't sound like a good party that you all have.
You know, the
It's
rest
functional.
the rest are pretty nice. He's just kind of rude.
Yes, you sound like
also
my
the
father
others,
there, Tick
aren't-
Trick.
The others
Huh?
aren't very.
What'd you say?
She looks at you. She goes, "You sound like my father, Tick Trick." And she looks.
I
back
mean,
and
it works. It works. Although we almost died, so maybe it doesn't work entirely. Hold on,
Well,
I'm
you know-
reconsidering.
You know what would be a really good idea? Do you want to know how you could really hide your base?
How?
She goes, if you've got Horv there, he's really good at making trees. If you put like an enchanted forest and then put an illusion over the indent in the that looks like a lake, make it look like it's filling up with water. Most people ain't gonna stop by and visit besides letting their mules drink. As long as you have like it so that way that they're not smart enough to figure it out, you should be good.
Yeah, we can talk to Horv about that. He's already heading to base.
She nods and goes, "That's the best way to do it." There's a lot of monsters around these parts that got names for them, but not many are gonna find sentient these days. A lot of those have been
Yeah.
hunted out and killed.
I think
Yeah,
we'll try and
that's,
find
uh,
that slab.
That's why we're trying to find every sentient race we can, because we found sentient monsters get along with sentient monsters as long as they're talked to.
There's a young green dragon nearby here, actually, that I'd recommend instead. He's in a Duragar land, so it's a little bit of a travel, but if you want to, there's... And she kind of pulls out this little map that looks way different than the one you have, with a lot more strange little like paths drawn on it. But
I'm trying to memorize it.
It looks perfect. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Now, as my background, I do have excellent memory for maps and geography, by the way.
All right, give
Just
me
a bit.
an intelligence check plus your expertise.
Oh, okay. Intelligence check plus. I'm gonna use lucky on that.
Okay.
So that was a natural one.
Ouch.
So let's say 25.
25. Yeah, as you look it over, you get the feeling you could definitely recreate this if you needed to. As she kind of points out and shows a bunch of little side trails and such through the forest, she goes, "These are what we call monster trails. A lot easier for migrating through the areas, and it shows the different territories of what monsters you want to avoid." And she points to the Duragar continent, and it's like all completely marked off. And she goes, "There's a young adult green dragon there. He's I don't remember his name, but he recently, funny, he got really scared from I think his name's Hawken. Him and his party just showed up in the dragon's lair, and then showed up with an even stronger dragon and scared the living crap out of the poor young man. But he's a young green dragon who's trying to send himself as a necromancer." But he's actually an illusion specialist as far as it goes, and really good at evocation magic. But he likes to put strings on dead bodies and make it look like he's controlling them. He's even got a fake lich down there, believe it or not. He's really good at voice acting for him. It's fantastic.
Well, thanks for the heads up. Maybe we'll go
think you
visit
both
him.
talk, then yeah.
I mean, he'll probably talk to you. To be honest, you're both stronger than he is by a long shot. He just became a young dragon recently, so he's still in the hundreds of years old. He's not very strong, but he's good at magic. He's got arcane eye for it. He'd be really useful if we could get him, because then you have myself being a ranger, you got Horv with a druid, and then you've got basically a green dragon, which they're really good at dealing with swamps and like height protecting territory.
All right, maybe we'll go visit. Thank you.
She nods and goes, "Oh, but if you are, my piece of advice, make sure you bring your whole party. His traps are deadly. That's the big issue. His traps are really good. If you don't have a way of getting underground and you have to go through the passageways, it's some rough stuff."
I mean,
Well, Tick
I
Trick
could
here's a
go
boy.
underground.
He's a burrowing expert.
Ah. But I'm happy to help you lot out. I got nothing better to do. I've been just sitting in here because, Bartholomew had nothing or wanted to hang out. He said he's telling me that we were waiting for some new sacrifices for him to devour. But I mean, I guess they
Well,
decided
there
not
was-
to show up.
Yeah, there were some people up front, but then they kind of ran away.
No. Well, and you see the brown bear suddenly just frowns.
Oh,
Although, I mean, anyone who comes in with bad intentions, you're more than welcome, Bartholomew.
Suddenly the
to do as
grin on Bartholomew's face comes back.
No, if they're here with bad intentions, please do as you wish.
Oh, by the way, I do have to ask, don't make deals with Bartholomew. The last creature he made a deal with, he ate it.
Oh, I actually avoid deals altogether. I'm an oathless. So.
Oh, well, that'll help. He's not a tricky bear, but he's really good at magic.
That's
Alright.
fair.
Wait, so you want to come with us to meet the dragon,
Yeah,
or
we can, or we could take you to base. I mean, we're only an hour or so away.
I mean, I can get you to the dragon almost immediately.
Oh, please do.
She goes, all right, you know, if you're down for it. And you see Bartholomew start shaking his head vigorously to side
Wait,
to side.
I nod my head vigorously back. Yes.
Tingray looking from side to side.
I'm confused.
You watch as all of you suddenly, suddenly as she grabs her a second amulet she pulls out from her behind her armor. That seems to have a black ringlet that's in the center is empty, but the black stone starts to glow, and the little iron little balls that seem to be holding it in, like grasping fingers and sorts, seem to all start to glow bright color. And in the center of the black ring suddenly appears like a little purple vortex as it starts to power up, and then you all find yourself shifting planes. Who wants to give me a d20?
I'll give you a d20.
Your turn. Get it.
Oh boy, that's a 6.
Well, that's a different adventure today.
How about I lose a luck point and change this?
You gonna use a lucky point to change this?
Why not? Ooh. Why not? That's a 12.
Oh, that's worse. All right.
Oh, cool. All right.
Okay, let's get the list going. Let's see where exactly in this domain you end up. All right. As you find yourself standing in a blackened city, the sky above you pitch black, no clouds, the buildings all seeming having to have dark shadows. You see these really pale dwarves walking about, almost ghostly white skin, their beards just as bright white as them. They seem to be walking around enjoying themselves through this large town, and you see suddenly Bartholomew starts to growl, and Faye starts to panic as she starts like pulling around like components, items, freaking out, and she goes, "That's not supposed to happen. That's not supposed to happen. Oh shit! Oh shit! We're not supposed to be here."
Do you need help?
Yes. She starts pulling shit out of a bag of holding, and you see.
How can I help?
Don't die! She pulls out another giant root, and she goes, "I don't need that. No." She pulls out a small skull of what looks to be a kind of like.
I can move us to another
creature.
plane with a quick twitch of my wrist if that's the goal here.
Yes, now.
Come on, join hands. Join hands. Come along.
Bartholomew rests his paw on your back, Sieko.
And once everyone has hands, I'm going to get the guy mirroring to teleport us back.
Okay. As you teleport back, you suddenly find yourself back in your stronghold, in the very bottom of it. And she looks about and looks very confused, and you see Bartholomew just calms down and kind of sits down and starts to sleep. It immediately starts snoring as it lays down completely.
So
My
where
friend
was
in the ring
that?
is quite good at that.
What'd you say, Sieko?
My friend in the ring is quite good at that kind of thing.
She nods and she looks over at Tiktrick and goes, to answer your question, that was the realm of Abaddon. We landed in a very particular city that I really can't go back to.
Oh.
We're here now.
Bartholomew kind of tried to do some things there, unfortunately.
Well, welcome to the base. I guess we got here faster.
She looks about and she goes, "Oh, I've been here before." And you see Horvin coming down one of the caves as he comes walking in. With Bastion's dagger against his neck and pulling out.
Bastion, pull the knife away.
You see Bastion kind of puts it away and lets the guy go after a few seconds as Daka comes in asking about the commotion. They both kind of look about Horv and Faye and just kind of nod, and both kind of kneel down in front of Tiktrick and go, almost in unison, they say, "We give our life and our willingness to the one who leads us."
What the fuck?
And Tiktrick, you feel some sort of strange arcane energy flow through you.
Hey, what the fuck? What's going on? Okay, this is weird.
For a moment, Sieko, you feel power flowing into Tiktrick of both divine and arcane that kind of cues your senses for a moment. Um, and both of them seem to stand back up. Bartholomew, you notice, does not bow, but
That's fine.
only Faye and Horv do. And Horv goes, "So I found an orc with a head trauma again. Is that normal around these parts?"
Sadly.
I think that was one that got hit by the coconut.
As you look over, you see it. Yeah, it's the same orc.
Yeah.
Completely
Hey, are your head still
unconscious
hurting?
again. No,
Oh,
this
he's
time
unconscious
he's
again?
out. He's knocked out completely. Yeah.
Most of our underlings here are in training.
Can we move that guy down to like bottom patrol and not up there anymore?
Taka just nods. Gus starts dragging him back to one of the rooms. Horv looks at both of you and goes, well, I've managed to close up the cave entrances. Now there's some thick roots. I've got, the trees that I had you guys walking on, the ones that you commented that they don't break under your weight.
Yes, the great trees. I love those things.
Yes, so I don't know what to call them still. I haven't come up with a name, but I've grown a bunch of them in front of the cave exits through these, like the mine exits. Theoretically, unless someone manages to figure out how to set fire to them, which you can only burn their roots, you can't. We should be fine permanently.
Nice. Thank you.
They're somewhat magical resistant. I'm not sure how much. I've never tried.
We can do some testing later if you want.
That's fair. I was thinking, you mind if I hook up a couple of tunnels from here to my old crystal mine area? There's some more valuables we could probably gather, and there's a
for
path
sure.
to the Underdark I found down there.
Yeah. We have a perfect place for you to connect them. I will show them our room.
As long as we're away from the other party members.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he'll follow as Faye starts to settle in and starts gathering a bunch of ingredients and starts setting up a little potion area, and starts crafting away. He kind of follows down and he goes, "Oh, can I live down here?"
Sure.
If you want, yeah.
Cool. And he kind of starts. You see magic circles suddenly just start appearing around him as he puts his staff in the air and starts chanting in Sylvan, different kinds of songs and just magical spells that seem to be an upcast of Mold Earth, as well as some sort of different spell you're not familiar with, Tiktrick. Both of you gather that this is somewhat the mold tree spell as roots start growing in and expand, reinforcing the walls as it expands out and becomes much more orderly and organized. The little stone chunks come out of the wall, creating desks and tables. And he starts to create an outline of a staircase to go into a long hallway. And he looks, as he turns back, he goes, "Well, that's all my 9th level spells. I'm going to take a nap, and then I'll start digging." As he kind of just lays down on
right before
dirt bed. Yeah, he looks up. What? Yes.
Right. Just to keep in mind, you're welcome to live down here. This area is a secret from everyone else in the stronghold. Something to keep in mind.
All right. I'll create a dummy entrance then, and he starts kind of lean back and immediately starts snoring.
Yeah, that's fine.
As the two of you kind of crawl back out of the thing, waiting until everyone's out of the room and coming out. Yeah, you see as Faye has already started setting up. You see that Bartholomew is smacking a couple of fish from the river, from the river nearby.
I didn't know there was fish in there.
Yeah, and they seem to glow with with sparkling images. As you look it over, you recognize that there's minerals on these fish.
Wow.
Their
try and catch
scales have
one.
a slight. As you see, as you walk over, I mean, there's about a small little pile of about 5 of them right next to around the bank, completely wiggling around as Bartholomew kind of looks at you and just sighs and snorts and grabs it and goes for another one.
Oh, I won't grab his. I'll get my own.
Oh, okay. Give me a dexterity check.
Next check. Okay.
Yeah, so trying to catch the fish.
Yeah.
Catch the fish. 21.
Let's make it fair.
I'm gonna give him a deck save.
All right. So that's a 2. So.
Oh, so close.
Yeah. As you go to grab the fish, you pull it out, and its scales are covered in mithril.
That's
weird.
weird.
Like a really thin coat. It's definitely not enough to do anything with, but it's that gives you the idea. The river or this underground waterway is just thick with the stuff.
Is this thinner than I could ever like make a sheet of mithril?
You think if you got maybe 100 fish and carved all their scales off, you'd probably get 1 bar of mithril.
No, I'm saying is this like thinner like than I could ever like if I had
Oh
some
yeah.
mithril.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a very thin coating. It's just enough to sit on these scales to cause them to sparkle a little bit more.
I'm trying to think of stuff to do with that later.
And Faye kind of turns to both of you and goes, I think those are just simple rockfish. They don't taste great, but they're really good to monsters. Apparently, we have the digestibility to eat these things. Because they've got a minor poison in them to people who are apparently sentient, or so says the champions of Pyrrhus.
Well, Seiko, you want to partake in a fish?
Fuck it. Sure.
All right. As you reach down to grab one, are you going to grab it fresh from the river? Or are you going to take the one from Ticktrick? Are you going to take one of the ones from Bartholomew?
It depends. Is Ticktrick offering it? If it's not, I'll try to catch my own.
I'll offer him one. I'll try and catch my own again.
Okay. Give me another dex check, Ticktrick.
It's a 10.
That's a 1. Yeah, you grab the fish and pull it out by the back of the fins. You watch as Bartholomew kind of drools as he watches you catch one.
Hey, you got 4 right or 5 right there.
As you look over, there's now a good 10 more sitting on the stack.
You got your own.
He continues to drool at yours as he stares at
No.
it. Not even reacting as the fish continue
Mine.
to swim through the river. He doesn't move towards you. He just continues to stare at you and drool with big eyes open. But Sieko, as you go and grab, or you take the one from Ticktrick and go to take a bite, give me a con save.
Okay. 28.
It actually tastes pleasant. You gain 2 extra temporary HP as you take a bite out of it. It's got a slightly fish with vinaigrette, like almost a soy sauce like mixture onto it. And yeah, it's a little crunchy. It's definitely not like the outside is definitely not the tastiest as you're just eating harder like rock scales, but the meat's delicious.
I'll go ahead and take a bite of mine.
All right, go ahead and give me a con save.
Okay. Well, that's a 26 with
Yeah.
Seiko's bonus.
As again you bite into it, and it very pleasant taste, Ticktrick. It's got a very sweet taste to it. The smell of the meat itself is very aromatic. As both of you look after taking a bite, it self-cooks itself. The meat is actually fully cooked inside.
Very cool.
Pretty cool.
And Faye kind of looks over and goes, "Oh, never seen it do people or fish cook themselves. That's kind of a neat thing. Bartholomew, don't eat too many. You'll end up fat again."
He's already got like 20.
As you look
Also,
over, the stack is now twice the size it was.
Yeah. Please don't double. We like to breed them and have a continuous food source.
Oh, he'll keep eating if he gets the option. As far as she kind of walks over and just smacks him with like a stick, and Bartholomew just kind of roars and kind of walks over
also,
to the thing and starts eating.
Keep in
fish.
mind, our party member lost a hedgehog in here. If you find it, please let us know.
really dangerous one that someone said was a god.
You have a,
Yeah,
a
I saw-
hedgehog god? That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's loose and it eats metal, so we're scared.
Also, please do not try to speak in its head. Ticktrick on it really hurts.
I saw dark things
Wait,
that
it eats
day.
metal? Didn't you
Yeah.
mention something about having a smithy? Wouldn't it be hanging out there?
We checked
yeah.
there. It wasn't there.
I've also been there for a while. I didn't see it in there, so.
Oh, I mean, I don't. My experience, whenever Bartholomew is trying to hide from me and hiding to get food, he always likes to hide inside of whatever he's eating. So he'll shrink himself down into a pile of like cheese. I had an experience. We bought like 3 years worth of cheese wheels. Like there was a good 20 of these things. This was going to go into the bag of holding and basically last us the rest of our travels. I really like cheese. And she continues on. And we bought, they were high a piece. Like they were a GP a piece. You know, these weren't like low end. And so I was like, cool. So I bring them with us on the camp. I'm like, I'll put them in the bag of holding when we're out and away from the city because I don't want people seeing my bag of holding. You know, I don't want to get mugged and have it taken from me. So we're walking along, and I have it in these baskets on the wagon, and I'm looking for Bartholomew because I got one of the bulls that I had tamed pulling the thing. And then I find him about an hour later in the center of a cheese wheel, shrunk down and hiding in it, in the basket. He had eaten 4.
And you know what?
if you like cheese, how much money do you need to buy enough cheese to last you a while?
Oh, I've got that now. And she pulls out from her bag of holding a cheese wheat maker. Then you watch as it just starts moving on its own.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I bought this off of a traveling merchant. His name was something Kung Pao. I don't know. He was a young guy, kind of dark color hair, two colored eyes, kind of tall for I think he was a gnome or a halfling, but he was like 5 foot tall. Like he was real tall for some reason.
All right. Well, you know what?
Well, if you want to
Tim.
help later, I have a lot of cursed items that I don't know what they do.
I mean, I'm not really good at figuring that out. You might want to ask Horvath. He might have identify.
I hope so, because no one in here has identify.
She looks about now. I'm a ranger, so most of my spells come from my items I got on me.
I guess secondary thing, if you need any weird items, I have too many.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah,
Also, I will go ahead and hand them a fanny pack, as I will attune to the backpack of Sharon.
The Sharon backpack.
she looks at it and goes, you sure you want to give this to me and not like one of your guards?
You heard the story about the guards, right? You know?
She smiles at you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a shared inventory with this backpack that I hold. So if you find anything interesting, go ahead and put it in there.
Oh, she starts putting like put random potions into it. And goes,
Well, I mean,
Well, yeah, no, just let her.
yeah, that's fine.
this one.
It's a shared inventory, so like.
This one's good for blowing up cities. This one's good for poisoning an entire nation. This one's good at killing bears. And you hear Bartholomew kind of grump at that.
I like this person, Tictor.
This one's really good at irritating dwarves. It just creates a vicious mockery that only dwarves can hear. It's really funny.
I think. No, Tictor, isn't there only one dwarf in our entire fucking?
Oh yeah, there is a Duragar here.
There's one Duragar.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's fine. I don't have a problem with Duragar. It's those hill and mountain dwarves that are annoying.
Yeah, what kind of dwarves does Horv have a problem with, though?
Oh, Horv? Horv doesn't really have an issue with anybody. He just doesn't like most of them, what you call humanoid types. He got ostracized a lot as a kid because he looked like an orangutan. You know that big nose thing? He couldn't turn it off when he was younger. So he got bullied by society a lot.
His bounty poster is just him as an orangutan.
Yeah, he's a hobgoblin too. He's actually from one of the noble slave families. Like he's got major connections, or at least he used to when they were around. But yeah, no, his dad kicked him out when he wouldn't stop getting made fun of, and he didn't have the willingness to beat his slaves. It was a whole thing.
So there's 6 fanny packs.
Yeah, I appreciate the fanny pack, and she kind of puts it on and attunes to it and goes, I'll just keep putting random shit in here if you don't mind, as she continues to put random potions in. Oh, this one's good for getting you out of a pinch.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Horv is sleeping right now because he set up his house. Whenever he's up and at it again, you guys are welcome to set the forest idea that you wanted.
Oh, you gonna go you gonna go talk to that dragon?
Yeah.
That was the idea, yeah.
I mean, he's a nice fellow. I don't think he can fight though, so don't kill him. Like he'll act tough, but really,
okay,
man's really weak. I can't emphasize that enough. This is probably your only good shot at talking to a young dragon. Green dragons ain't particularly good.
You said he was good at traps. We kind of need a person to set traps in the base, so
it's fair. I think he's also an avid boat collector.
We have someone who keeps calling Brock's boats. I will say that.
He can fly on his rock.
You hear Daka from the distance go, "Hi!"
Yeah, there he is.
Faye goes and goes, I'll figure my way around. Don't worry.
All right. I'm also gonna leave a fanny pack with the Horf.
With who? Oh, with Horf. Okay. Yeah, as you kind of skimp off after talking to Faye, kind of running off to one of the side passages where the hole's dug into, and it's covered by a large stone that just, you just move out of the way every time to kind of throw things down into. Chucking a fanny pack in, you hear, "Fuck! What the hell? Why is there?"
Put it on.
And then we just close it again.
All right. A few minutes later go by and you hear snoring again off in the distance. But yeah, as you two manage to kind of set up, you've gained 2 allies. The green dragon supposedly being somewhere nearby in the Duragar lands. What would you all like to do? What's
You
the
want to
goal?
go see that green dragon?
Yeah, how far would that be if we decided to walk?
It will be by next session. You'll be going to do it.
Wow.
Because it will take
where's-
a whole.
where's
It will
Flab?
take about at least a day's worth of traveling just to get to the Duragar lands.
And where's Flab, supposedly?
About let me pull up my map.
We could just try and go hit that one too.
We could just go try and kill. Apparently
Two,
not.
roughly 2 days south of you. Even with your current speed. He is noted on the map to show at the very southern point of the peninsula, where the mountain dwarf castle used to be called Stonehold.
So, right, which do we want? Because it sounds like either way is going to be what tomorrow's session will end up being.
Yeah. I think the green dragon sounds.
I think the green dragon is more important because Flab is just a random creature to kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can head to the Duragar lands.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else the two of you would like to do?
I was
We
going
could
to
check-
program for the vault, but we can do that
Yeah.
post session.
Okay, yeah, that's pre-post session. Let me think. Damn, Horf's asleep. I was gonna ask him about the coconuts. So well.
Ask him later. That's fine.
I will let you know Horv would not be able to tell you anything about them.
Really?
As both of you will find out, Horv doesn't have Identify.
Oh.
God damn it!
He will explain. He's a druid.
Well, yeah.
He's a
yeah.
druid who heavily focuses on high-level magic. But he does explain he can heal any wounds that you all take.
That's
That's
good.
nice.
And he immediately casts Regenerate on Sieko, thinking that his eyes don't work and not realizing that the eyes do work.
Oh, we actually.
Hey.
Hey. We actually needed that for something.
He fully casts it, and yeah, you feel for a moment your eyes just kind of tingle, but nothing seems to happen. He just looks very confused.
No, don't worry. I just look like this.
Oh, you're blind by choice. Interesting.
No, not blind. I can see you.
Ah.
He can see you.
I just have gems encasing my head. It's part of the species I am.
Oh, okay. He nods. He goes, yeah.
I do
I'm-
appreciate that you thought to help, though. It was very kind.
Yes, he goes, well, that was an 8th level spell. He looks at you and smiles. Yeah, no, to explain my skills, I'm a high-level druid, Circle of the Land. I, try to help as much of the force as I can, but most of my spells involve healing and focusing on, botany. I'm more good at doing the science with the trees than I am actually casting magic of the trees.
Speaking of, helping the land, would you... Because Faye mentioned, would you like to... Well, it would help Titus as well, to set up a forest on top of the stronghold?
Oh, I can make some really cool trees that make it so that no one wants to come nearby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She mentioned an enchanted forest.
I've got better. I've got these things called horror trees. And he kind of pulls out a bunch of seeds. He pulls out a little brown bag, and as he pours them onto a table, they immediately start screaming at a high pitch volume.
The Horv, you can set up whatever kind of weird trees you want. Just please make us an entrance where we don't have to deal with the trees.
He scoops them up and goes, yeah.
Or tell us how to not deal with the trees.
Oh no, these only activate if you're hostile. If they sense hostile intent. Well, when they're not seedlings. Seedlings scream all the time.
Okay.
That's perfect. Well, we're gonna be gone for a few days anyway, so you have some time to play with it.
Oh, I can get these up within a day. He goes, now, real question is, do you want, I've got horror trees, I got O trees, I got more of those, I guess you called them great wood trees. I don't call them that, but sure, we'll call them great wood trees for the time being. We'll call them, weight resistant trees, I think is the best option. By the way, I took to Liberty, and I'm starting to grow you a fresh ladder for the one up at the top, because it looks kind of busted, and I don't like planks. They don't look nice. Also,
No, I really
it's
appreciate the last normal ladder I went on. I broke every single rock.
You know what? You said you put a magic item in one of those trees and it did things, right?
Yeah, I can pretty much do it with any magical item.
Take this coconut
It takes the coconut.
and put it in a tree.
and see what happened.
I can just
Be
grow the
careful.
coconut.
Huh?
Well, I don't know
Oh.
how many because the coconut itself is magical. We have no
Yeah,
idea.
there's magic on
Please,
that.
I do see
I
there's
don't
a
know if you-
rune on the back. I don't know what this rune does.
I don't know what it does either, so be
Neither do
careful.
we. Just know they all have different spells, but I punched one of them out of curiosity and it cut my fingers off before I regrew them.
Oh no.
As he looks at it, he goes, "Yeah, I've never seen a coconut that has carvings on the back of it. That's kind of cool. I wonder what kind of plant this comes from."
But yeah, Horv, you're welcome to make whatever kind of forest you want. Man. We're giving you full openness to do what you wish.
Oh, do you want people coming by or no?
We don't want hostile people coming by.
Do you want this place to eventually thrive and make you a lot of money, or are you just looking for people to stay away?
Some money, mostly safety.
Well, then why not just, instead of setting it up to allow people to travel through, you could just set up a traveling merchant. You know, I saw a blue dragonborn near here recently. He might be a good merchant to grab. He
We have a merchant,
complains a
apparently.
lot,
He's not-
though.
Is that really?
Is it right?
Yeah,
Is he talking about
that's
Rylos?
Rylos.
Rylos is a blue dragonborn, yeah.
Yeah, he actually already works for us. That is our merchant.
Oh, alright, perfect. Yeah, he complains a lot.
He
You
does.
know... Here.
Yeah, so he complains because there were a few issues of him mishearing orders. So when he got back and thought the job was done, he had to immediately go out and fix it.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, as well. I mean, yeah, I can grow something up. Instead, I'll just make it so there's a pathway from the inside that you can activate to leave, but not enter from the outside. I can create a sub path down to Raktra, so you guys can just go through that instead by the time you come back. That way, you don't have anybody you're leading around. Oh,
Yeah,
if you do see Belf though, let him know he still owes me a magic or one of them soul stones. I've got the I got to make my coins here.
Oh,
Okay,
alright.
yeah. Once you're done with the pathway and everything, we will set up your old base as a secondary for me and Ticktrick and whoever else we bring. It's always good to have a backup.
I mean, that place is more reinforceable. There's a lot more stone buildings there that are ready to be built
That
up.
was
Yeah.
that was the idea. when I
Also, apparently, we met a weird being when you left.
What do you mean?
it was this big lion-looking thing that was made of stars.
Big one.
It mentioned it asked if we opened a chest that freed it.
Only thing I
Yeah,
know
okay.
is the forgotten god that was saved by a group named Amateur Hour. That's the only thing I can think
please.
of.
Please don't tell me we just met a god.
Might have been, could have been, it could have been.
Well,
maybe it's more.
That's
Maybe
not
it's
the
mortal.
first time.
It asked if we freed it. We didn't, and then it left. So
And no harm, no foul. You know, I hear he's supposed to be a pretty finicky god, but maybe, you know, because of the fact that you showed no
seemed pretty
hostility,
lost.
you know, maybe he didn't care. I mean, from what I was told about the story, it goes that he's pretty much he's been looking for the people who let him go because he felt he owed them, but he never did find them. I hear they're supposedly dead. They got killed by Greg the Bloodthirsty. Same bastard that killed that young that young green dragon near here's poor father. Ugh.
you know, we're actually going to befriend the green dragon here
What?
in a bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's kind of an asshole, forewarning. So he likes to play with dead corpses and scare the shit out of you. He's got a lich, not an actual lich. It's just
No,
on
yeah.
a string, and it looks
Yeah, Faye
scary.
told us. Yeah, Faye told us.
Well, did she tell you that it's got illusionary magic?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
I'm gonna be honest.
advice.
If he refuses to submit, I was told by Faye I'm a lot stronger than he is. So
Oh, by a long shot. He's really not that strong. Honestly, he's not a fighter from what I've learned either. I went
Yeah,
nearby,
trapsighter.
and me and him had a couple of rounds, and honestly, I didn't even have to do much more than hit him once with this stone sword. Well, back in the day, to be fair, it was just a normal stone sword. It was an actual stone
Yeah.
sword.
What does
Yeah,
your
but-
armor and your sword do, by the way? It was pretty fancy stuff.
Oh, yes, I mean, yeah, it's just I've got a moon sickle. This is just a simple, higher quality item. I've got my staff of the woodlands, my cauldron as he pulls it out. It's just the cauldron of rebirth that I
Pull
have
that out
to
of your back
craft.
pocket, huh?
He just grabs it out of a bag and kind of sets it on the ground. It's not a bag of holding. It looks to be made of some
Jeez.
sort of amalgamations of some sort of root that has a very big opening into it that stretches. And he pulls out a book and he goes, and I got my tome that I've been reading that I read to you earlier.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't hear any of that, by the way. Seems like you.
That's pretty normal. The Tome of Understanding is one of those things that unless you're attuned to the item, you can't hear or see anything in it. So it's part of the magic. Makes it really useful. He goes, but yeah, I mean, since we'll be working together. You know, yeah, that's it. I'm pretty much. I mean, I'll answer whatever questions you got. You can't have my equipment though. I do have to admit. It's
No, that's
personal.
fine. Just want to know what you were wearing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we're just-
I'm not wearing any armor, you know, druid and all that. We don't like
Yeah.
metal, and I feel bad skinning animals. By the way, he goes and he pulls out this little hedgehog out of his pocket.
Oh, hey.
Is this yours? He keeps,
Yeah.
He keeps
Yeah, just be
saying things
careful.
about
Yeah.
darkness and death to civilization and hatred.
Did you look in his
for
head?
all. No, he just keeps telling me these things.
Yeah, don't
just
look at his
know,
head.
Head bad. He is a god of some kind.
I'm gonna go find the cage where he was.
He keeps calling himself Belmanu or something like that.
Yeah,
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 that's his name. Hold on, stay right here. I'm gonna go look for the
I'll
cage.
stay with him. Yes, he was in a cage that he could have easily gotten out of whenever. He was just kind of sitting there. He was stuck in this magic vault we went to over the fire giant lands.
No, as you look, Horv's face is just going more and more pale as he's holding this thing in his cupped hands, as it's just chewing on a piece of metal. He goes,
"No, just don't worry. Just
do I find the cage somewhere?
As you climb out, a few minutes go by. You go into Goji's room and find the cage just sitting there. Goji kind of passed out snoring. As you
just coaching Belmont. I'm just coaching Horv to not freak out.
Yeah. As you come back, you see Horv is like
Breathe in,
completely
breathe
at this
out.
point like shaking. His knees are wobbling. His hands are the only things that are fully still. As you come in, Dictrixing Sieko coaching.
I put a mythril bar
in.
in the cage to lure him in.
Oh, as soon as you set it in, you watch as the little hedgehog jumps out of his hands. Horv screams like a little girl, panics and jumps to behind his little dirt bed.
I know he closes it in.
Yeah, it runs and jumps into the thing as you close it and just starts chewing on the bark peacefully, not doing anything.
Okay.
All right.
Don't worry. No one opens it. He seems to not want to leave the cage ever.
Yeah, he
He'll just
keeps
stay-
saying you guys keep feeding him really rare things, and he says he likes the metal feeder.
Yeah, that's him. That's
I
him.
fed
He
him.
also mentioned that if
you.
you stop feeding him, he's gonna wipe out the entirety of civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably gonna happen anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, wait, what? What? Please, huh?
You know,
What?
like
Huh?
7 different things are trying to end the world, right?
No.
You can't get caught up on these things, you know. You gotta keep moving
Why do you think
forward.
we're trying to defend ourselves?
What?
I don't know. We're not part of any of it. We're just trying to hold them.
Does Faye know?
About this
Faye-
thing?
No, about the world-ending part multiple times.
I have no idea. You know, there were these blue barriers killing all magic casters. Someone stopped that though, so that was good.
You know, I poked it and I wondered, and he holds up the missing finger. I wondered why my finger vanished.
Can you not regrow it?
I've tried. You know, I
That
tried a
sucks.
9th level. I tried a 10th level regenerate. It almost killed me to do that spell, and my finger still hasn't grown back. It's still perfectly burned off. I had a theory it got transported to a different plane of existence because I thought that's what the blue shield was. Because anybody who walked into it just turned to dust and disappeared.
No, I
No,
think
yeah,
it
some
just
turned to
deleted
dust.
you.
Some exploded when they. Yeah, no, their soldiers gone. They're dead.
I sent like 3 druid. Oh.
Their souls got erased.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Wait, so do
yeah,
you know why all the
Lord.
dead people aren't like around anymore?
A new Beyond God rose.
A what?
A god.
You know Logothus?
No.
Okay, really famous necromancer. He
Okay.
basically wrote a new law for the world that the dead must stay dead, so now necromancy is basically impossible. And if you die, you can't be resurrected.
He just looks very confused. How does one make it? What?
We don't know.
He's
don't
really
know.
powerful and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. He ran a nation basically on only his own power, so...
You know, I don't feel like I want to ever meet this fellow.
Oh,
We
he's
don't
gone.
either.
Well, to be fair, I don't think he cares about mortals anymore. He kind of just ascended and's gone now.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I met a woman recently, though. She came and visited me and telling me that some fellas would come by and that I should not attack them when they arrived. Bright white hair, cat ears, over-sexualized like no other.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's Sokka's god.
Oh, yeah, she told me, I guess the depiction now makes sense that you two would arrive. I didn't believe her when she said a Thrycreen and a dragon made of amethyst would arrive.
Yeah, only half dragon, but yeah, close enough. Yeah, that's from what I understand from Dawkins Ramblings, the goddess of thievery.
Yeah.
Something like that, apparently. I met them
She,
before they became a god, apparently.
She's nice enough.
She showed up, told me that you would show up and not attack me and not to kill you. Also, she said I should send Belf away because he was he would probably eat you both. I don't
Well, he
think
didn't,
Belf could
thankfully.
eat you. I'm gonna
Well,
be
at the
honest,
very
not a
least-
big enough mouth, but yeah.
At the very least, he didn't. He just kind of left after asking us a question.
Yeah. He asked
he-
about the Underdark, though.
He gets
so.
really bored really easily and just leaves all the time. I don't know why. He's offered to make me a pact at some point, but I told him he's not strong enough to give me any magic.
Oh.
So, He just kind of accepted it and moved on. Me and him hang out. On occasion, he comes by. When Mrs. was alive, he'd come by for dinner a lot more often. But these days, that's how it is. But anyways, I'm gonna contemplate the world-ending existential crisis I'm about to process. You're gonna hear a lot of screaming. Don't worry about it. I'm fine.
Could you silence it so people don't hear you in here?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you see a silent circle end up around him, and he just starts yelling at the top of his lungs against the wall.
Yeah, that's everyone's reaction.
But as you both head back up,
I guess before we end, I could go looking for some unique minerals or gems that we haven't found yet.
Yeah, between the two of you, give me a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
Because Sieko's Tremor Sense would help with that.
Wow, that's a 2 and a 1 for advantage, by the way.
Sieko, you tried to help him. You tried to explain that there's denser auras in these areas, but as Tictor just looks at it, he doesn't understand.
I'll lucky it. Why not?
I mean, we are going to get a long rest for next session anyway.
That's a 23.
Then it clicks in. You mean that rock? And you point to it, and Tictor starts digging out just random things and minerals. You're not sure as you start pulling it out what you're getting, as these are very multicolored. It seems to slightly change as you dig it out fully. But you get about 60 bars of this strange metal or worth of ore from the wall as you just start tearing it out. And Sieko identifies that the density is no more in the area.
Okay.
But yeah, and as you start looking it over, go ahead and give me a D20 plus expertise.
D20. That's a 23.
You have found, and I hate to say this, an unfortunate vein of raw bananium.
No, we can't tell Bastion. We can't tell Bastion. This is ours.
No, I'll make him an item because I'm a good friend out of bananium.
He doesn't like you, and you don't like him.
This will gain something maybe.
But as the group kind of settles down and gets themselves ready, you lot both start spending the rest of the night mining before getting ready to head off in the morning. And we will pick up next session as you lot will arrive at the entrance to the Green Dragon's lair. We thank you all for watching, and before we leave, for XP for what you got today, you're not gonna believe this. I will have to I will have Grumpy do the math afterwards.
I think it was a pretty successful day.
Yeah.
I mean, we got 2 really powerful recruits, 3 technically. But...
All right. We thank you all for watching as the XP gets forwarded out, and we will see you on the next session tomorrow. Hey, I'm done with it because it means I get more